So you're thinking about welcoming a Boston Terrier into your life? These American gentlemen of the dog world are celebrated for their distinctive looks, lively personalities, and unwavering devotion to their families. Their tuxedo-like markings, expressive eyes, and compact size make them incredibly appealing. However, beneath that charming exterior lies a breed with specific needs and characteristics that prospective owners, especially first-timers, should thoroughly understand. We're going to explore 9 characteristics that may make you think twice before you get a Boston, so let's jump into the countdown. 9. They snore loudly. One of the most distinctive and often commented upon characteristics of Boston Terriers is their propensity for loud respiratory noises. This isn't just a quirky habit, it's directly related to their brachycephalic, or short-nosed, facial structure. Their flattened snouts, compact airways, and sometimes elongated soft palates contribute to restricted airflow. Imagine trying to breathe deeply through a very small pinch straw. That's a simplified way to understand what a brachycephalic dog experiences, especially during sleep. This anatomical feature leads to a chorus of sounds: snorts, grunts, wheezes, and most notably, quite pronounced snoring. For some, these sounds are merely part of the Boston Terrier's charm, a comforting rumble that signals their presence. For light sleepers, however, or those who prefer a quiet night, this can become a significant disruption. Picture trying to drift off to sleep while a small, furry individual in the same room is producing sounds akin to a miniature freight train. It's not always constant, but when it happens, it can be remarkably loud. This snoring isn't just about noise, it also hints at potential respiratory challenges. While some level of snorting and snoring is normal for the breed, excessive or labored breathing, especially during activity, warrants a veterinary checkup. Understanding this trait means being prepared for a potentially noisy companion and recognizing the underlying anatomical reasons for it. It's a fundamental part of the Boston Terrier experience. 8. They are prone to gas, moving from the auditory to the olfactory. Another common trait of Boston Terriers that surprises many new owners is their notable predisposition to flatulence. Yes, we're talking about dog farts, and with a Boston, they can be frequent and at times surprisingly potent. This gassiness often stems from a combination of factors. Their brachycephalic structure, which causes them to swallow more air when they eat and drink, is one culprit. This swallowed air has to go somewhere, and often it makes its way out the other end. Additionally, Boston Terriers can have sensitive digestive systems. Certain ingredients in their food, or even the speed at which they consume their meals, can lead to increased fermentation in their gut, producing more gas. While feeding a high-quality, easily digestible diet, avoiding table scraps, and using slow feeder bowls can help mitigate the issue, it's rarely a problem that can be completely eliminated. Owners should be prepared for occasional, and sometimes not so occasional, unpleasant odors. This means being comfortable with airing out rooms, and perhaps even investing in good ventilation. It's a reality of owning a Boston Terrier, and while it can be humorous at times, it's something to consider if you have a low tolerance for such things. It's an often overlooked aspect of their care, but one that daily life with a Boston will quickly bring to your attention. Boston Terriers are charming, affectionate, and entertaining companions, but they aren't the ideal breed for every lifestyle. If you're considering bringing one into your home, here are important reasons to carefully consider that decision. 7. They can be stubborn. Boston Terriers are intelligent dogs, no doubt about it. They can learn commands quickly and understand routines. However, intelligence doesn't always equate to immediate obedience. Boston Terriers possess a charming, yet sometimes frustrating independent streak. They are often described as having a "what's in it for me" attitude. This means they might perfectly understand what you're asking them to do, but choose not to comply if they don't see an immediate benefit, or if something more interesting has captured their attention. This isn't maliciousness, it's simply part of their personality. Their stubbornness can manifest during training sessions, where they might offer a blank stare instead of performing a requested trick, or during walks when they decide to plant their paws and refuse to move. For first-time dog owners, this can be particularly challenging. You might expect a dog to eagerly follow every command, only to be met with a charming but unyielding resistance. Successful training with a Boston Terrier requires immense patience, consistency, and a reliance on positive reinforcement. Harsh methods or impatience will be counterproductive and can damage your bond. You need to make training fun, engaging, and rewarding for them. Understanding their stubborn nature means approaching training with a resilient spirit and a good sense of humor, recognizing that sometimes you'll need to outthink your clever yet self-willed companion. 6. They're prone to separation anxiety. Boston Terriers are deeply affectionate dogs that form incredibly strong bonds with their human families. They thrive on companionship and genuinely love being at their owner's side. This wonderful trait, however, comes with a potential downside: a predisposition to separation anxiety. When left alone for extended periods, especially without proper preparation or gradual acclimatization, a Boston Terrier can experience significant distress. This anxiety isn't just mild discontent, it can manifest in destructive behaviors such as incessant barking, chewing on furniture or shoes, inappropriate urination or defecation indoors, or even attempts to escape. This behavior stems from genuine fear and loneliness, not spite. Boston Terriers do best in households where someone is home most of the day, or where arrangements can be made for their company. This might mean working from home, having a family member available, or utilizing doggy daycare or a trusted pet sitter. If you have a demanding job that requires you to be out of the house for 8 or more hours a day, 5 days a week, a Boston Terrier might not be the right fit unless you have a robust plan in place to prevent loneliness. Addressing separation anxiety requires patience, desensitization training, and sometimes professional help. It's a serious consideration, as an anxious dog is an unhappy dog, and an unhappy dog can cause significant damage to your home and peace of mind. 5. They can have multiple health issues. While generally robust for their size, Boston Terriers are predisposed to a variety of health conditions due to their unique physical characteristics. Awareness of these potential issues is crucial for any prospective owner, as it impacts both the emotional and financial commitment of owning this breed. Their prominent, often bulging eyes are particularly vulnerable. They are prone to corneal ulcers, cataracts, glaucoma, and cherry eye, largely because their eyes are less protected within their skull. Even a minor bump or scratch can lead to a serious eye injury, requiring immediate veterinary attention. Their brachycephalic structure also makes them susceptible to various respiratory problems beyond just snoring, including brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome, BOAS, which can range from mild difficulty breathing to severe respiratory distress, especially in heat or during exertion. Other common ailments include patellar luxation, slipping kneecaps, which can cause lameness, congenital deafness in some lines, and various skin allergies and sensitivities that can lead to itching and infections. Tumors, both benign and malignant, are also observed in the breed. This isn't to say every Boston Terrier will suffer from all these conditions, but the likelihood is higher than in some other breeds. Regular veterinary checkups, preventive care, and prompt attention to any symptoms are essential to maintaining their quality of life. Be prepared for potentially significant vet bills, and consider pet insurance as a wise investment for this breed. 4. They don't tolerate extreme weather well. Boston Terriers are not built for extremes, either hot or cold. Their physical characteristics make them particularly vulnerable to temperature fluctuations, requiring owners to be vigilant about their exposure to the elements. In cold weather, their short single coat offers very little insulation. They don't have an undercoat to trap warmth, meaning they get cold very quickly. Prolonged exposure to low temperatures can lead to hypothermia. This means in colder climates, outdoor potty breaks need to be quick, and walks require protective clothing like sweaters or coats. They are not dogs that can happily play in the snow for extended periods. Conversely, their brachycephalic structure makes them highly susceptible to overheating in warm weather. Their short snouts and compromised airways make it difficult for them to efficiently pant and cool themselves down. Unlike longer-nosed dogs who can cool off more effectively through panting, a Boston Terrier's limited ability to do so puts them at high risk for heat stroke, which can be fatal. Even moderately warm temperatures can be dangerous, let alone hot, humid conditions. Outdoor exercise during summer months must be limited to early mornings or late evenings, and they should never be left in a car, even with windows cracked. Owners need to provide ample shade, fresh water, and cooling mats or vests when necessary. This means your outdoor activities will always need to be planned around your Boston Terrier's temperature sensitivities. 3. They require regular mental stimulation. Don't let their compact size fool you. Boston Terriers are intelligent, curious, and remarkably bright dogs. This high level of intelligence, while wonderful for training, means they have an active mind that needs to be engaged. Without sufficient mental stimulation, a bored Boston Terrier can quickly become a destructive one. A lack of mental outlets can lead to undesirable behaviors such as excessive chewing of anything and everything, digging, barking, or generalized restlessness. They won't just sit quietly and entertain themselves for hours. They need challenges and activities that make them think. This isn't just about physical exercise, it's about exercising their brains. To keep a Boston Terrier happy and well-behaved, owners need to incorporate regular mental enrichment into their daily routine. This can include training sessions, short, fun, and consistent training sessions, teaching new tricks or refining old ones, puzzle toys, interactive feeders or puzzle toys that require them to solve a problem to get treats, scent work, hiding treats around the house for them to sniff out, new experiences, exposing them to new sights, sounds, and smells on walks, interactive play, games like fetch, hide and seek, or tug of war that engage both their body and mind. Understanding this need for mental engagement is key to preventing behavioral issues and fostering a well-adjusted Boston. They thrive when their clever minds are put to good use. 2, they have high indoor energy. While Boston Terriers are small and can adapt well to apartment living, it's a common misconception that their exercise needs are minimal. While they don't require miles of running, they do have bursts of energy that need to be released, often indoors. Boston Terriers are famous for their zoomies, sudden, intense, seemingly uncontrollable bursts of running, spinning, and leaping around the house. These energetic explosions can come out of nowhere and are a classic Boston Terrier trait. While often amusing, they signify a need to burn off pent-up energy. This means that daily physical activity is crucial, even if it's primarily indoors. Short, brisk walks a few times a day are important, but so are dedicated play sessions inside the home. Tossing toys, engaging in lively games of fetch down a hallway, or simply letting them have their zoomy moments in a safe space are necessary. Without adequate outlets for their energy, they can become restless, destructive, or develop undesirable habits. They need opportunities to stretch their legs and work off steam, preventing boredom and channeling their lively spirit into appropriate activities. Don't underestimate the energy packed into these compact packages. 1, they do shed. Despite their short, smooth coat, Boston Terriers are not hypoallergenic, and they do shed. This often comes as a surprise to prospective owners who might assume a short-haired dog means no shedding. While their shedding isn't as profuse as breeds with long or double coats, it is certainly noticeable and consistent throughout the year. Their fine, stiff hairs can embed themselves surprisingly well into furniture, carpets, and clothing. You'll find their little hairs on your black pants, on the couch, and probably floating around your home. The shedding tends to be moderate but steady rather than heavy seasonal blows. Managing Boston Terrier shedding requires regular grooming. A weekly brushing with a soft bristle brush or a grooming mitt can help remove loose hair before it ends up on your belongings. Regular baths also help. For households that prefer a completely shed-free environment or for individuals with severe pet allergies, a Boston Terrier might not be the best choice. While their grooming needs are relatively low, compared to many other breeds, acknowledging and preparing for their shedding is an important part of responsible Boston Terrier ownership. It's a small dog, but it still leaves a furry footprint. Boston Terriers offer immense love and joy, but their unique traits, from snoring to health needs, demand careful consideration. Understanding these characteristics is crucial for any potential owner to ensure a happy life. If you want to learn more about Bostons, check out this other video by me here on the Boston Terrier Society. And remember, life is better with a Boston.